I am Lisa Crockett. I am 44 years old and I'm from St. Petersburg, Florida. I discovered that I had an issue when I was 25, when I had my first long-term relationship. Didn't know exactly what was going on with me, but knew something was wrong because I couldn't have intimate relations with my boyfriend. I had never been to a doctor, never grew up having exams, so I figured I had to find out what's going on with me. So I went and scheduled a gynecological exam for the first time, scared to death. Went in there and she attempted to examine me, and of course I freaked out and she couldn't touch me. And so she goes, I'm going to get the children. She was trying to do the speculum and couldn't even get it near me. She couldn't even put a finger in me. I freaked out. Just having her coming near me was impossible. And I could tell that she was getting irritated with me, was impatient. I got upset, and that's when it ended, and I had no exam whatsoever. She never even came back into the room to discuss anything with me. It was terrible and traumatizing for me. And I continued with this relationship. We moved in together. I was with them for 6 years, and of course, trying to attempt intercourse was always impossible, was a brick wall, so we just pretty much did the oral sex. Went to a bookstore and went into the sex book section to try to figure out what was wrong with me, because I really loved him and I felt very guilty. And I even actually told him that if he wanted to have sex with somebody, that I would let him do that, because I felt so guilty that, he wasn't able to have intercourse with me. So I went into the bookstore and saw this little section on sexual dysfunction, and it was a little paragraph of vaginismus, and it described me to the T. And I went back home to him and I said, I think I know what I have, and maybe we can go to counseling. And by that time it was just kind of too late, and we broke up. And I moved. At that time I lived in Nashville, and I moved back to St. Petersburg and immediately started another relationship with a gentleman that I had dated prior to the first boyfriend, and told him that I have intimate issues, and showed him told him to Google this, and he was open to it and fine. And that relationship we tried, and it was more of a better connection sexually with him, because I felt more comfortable with him. And of course, again, we attempted to have sex, couldn't do it, and that's when he introduced me to toys, and it was more of a more loving relationship with him. But again, me not being able to have sex with him, older man, he had been married too, I kind of just couldn't do that to him. Yeah. I felt very shameful, very inadequate, incomplete. Didn't understand why I can't do something with a man that I love so much, and just felt broken. Felt really, really broken. And so I ended that relationship, and that was in 2000, and I have not dated since. I didn't tell anybody until 2010, when I went to therapy. I was severely depressed through this shameful hidden things. And when I turned 40, that's when I started having my first panic attacks, knowing that I'll never be a mother, never going to have children. I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. And ended up going to therapy for family issues. And my therapist at the end of her session asked me about my relationships. And I had told her that I had this issue, which she had never heard of, and recommended me to go to a sex therapist. So I made an appointment with a sex therapist, and she had told me to drink a glass of wine, put candles on, and try to buy dilators and try to fix myself. I was formerly diagnosed with primary vaginismus. And this sex therapist, I gave the book to her, and she said that I could do what these ladies do. And when she told me the glass of wine is when I knew that she doesn't know what she's talking about, and I discontinued seeing her. So after that, I talked to my sister. I had wanted to tell somebody, so I told my sister, and told her about the women's therapy center, how one day I want to come, and she really encouraged me to go as soon as possible. And I made my appointment March of this year, and now it's October. I start October 13th, and I'm on my I'm almost graduating tomorrow. The first several months of me coming here, I was scared to death because I had never had anything in me ever. No finger, no tampon. I've never been touched in there, and I read the stories, the success stories. Every single day I was on the blog and thinking that I am not going to be able to do this. I'm going to be the one that's not going to be cured. I'm going to be the difficult one because I have had this for 19 years. I'm 44 years old. My life is done. I got on the plane. I was scared to death. My first interview here on that Monday, I was a mess. And the second day I got here, after my anxiety subsided and I was capable of doing the exercises, I knew literally by the second day that I was going to be okay, that I was in good hands. I had gotten through the second day of the actual therapy sessions, and I was able to do my homework and know that I have a vagina that can be used and something can go up there, was when I knew that I was going to be okay. I am going home and starting a new life at 44 years old. I know that I am cured. And that's like the best feeling ever. I am cured after 2 weeks. And I can't even, there's not even any words that I can even really describe it. I just hope that, whoever listens to this video, if I can just reach one person, your life's not over with. And like I said, I am 44, and I did it, and I hope that you will get here and get help from these wonderful, wonderful ladies. They are miracle workers. They really are. They're angels. And I love them.